Welcome to some One Piece action. If you're new to the channel, please give us a subscribe. And if you're a returning viewer and have not subscribed yet, please give us a subscribe. It definitely helps the channel grow. Interesting opening we have here. We got the buggy to help us look at the top three. Then we got the law to put it back in our hand. So essentially, we've been working on Boa and Promo Luffy. In a weird way, well, I guess blue in general, but in a weird way, these things can just overlap with each other. The way these two leaders can be built. But I have to say blue in general. I want to revisit Blue Crocodile, but he's the one that I would deem a little bit more complicated because it's really developing an endgame scenario because you eat 4 Don in a blue deck of all decks. It's disgusting. You eat 4 Don in a blue deck. But outside of that, I'm like, okay, I really want to put it to the test to see how effective it is to use bounce cards and etc, etc. So right now in this situation, it is unhealthy to bounce back that Nico Robin, right? So we're gonna avoid it, but we're brave if we don't. I can tell you that. We're brave if we don't, avoid bouncing the Nico. If we just say F it, bounce the Nico, that's brave. We could bottom deck it, but then again, it is a yellow deck, and oh, we're brave. Wow. Okay, I respect it. They decided to just go for some board development. We protect our law. I wouldn't be surprised if they choose to play Nico next turn. Anyway, so yeah, playing these two blue leaders, right? The overall goal, it was like, hey, I want to, oh wow, another red rock. Hey, I want to, experience how effective it is to use bounce cards, And then the other factor here is trying something different. So Boa, you already know, bounces and you just draw a card. I think Boa is just easier. She is the better leader, but it is kind of interesting that you can create this particular overlap between the two blue leaders. But Luffy allows you to draw, and I think Luffy is about being a bit offensive and defensive. Anytime you can draw cards, I think drawing is a symbolism of defense. And what do you call it? Having to lower your hand size. I think an ideal way to lower your hand size is, in the context of defense, countering out, just and then you're drawing, right? So, freeze that right there. So you see, like right now, we got a beautiful scenario where we can. We're just gonna counter out. Okay, cool. I'm surprised we didn't go for the level up. Oh, there it goes. You gotta let it go. Now, it's funny because if we would have had the 2K, then it's like, see, low-key like busted. If we would have had the 2K, then definitely we would have saved it. We would just play level up beam, draw, and then, 2K. Oh my god, that hand is disgusting. You know what's super crazy though? They had a huge chunk of life cards, but they should have been. It was Yellow Kid. They should have been playing so they could turn things into blockers, supernovas, and stuff. Right? You had an 8-drop kid. You should have just been playing 8-drop kid, and then you could have started cycling as well. So that's their fault. But anyway, I felt like I failed to articulate properly. But you know what? We'll save Luffy for when Luffy actually comes out. This is a Boa video. So let's talk about Boa. So essentially, I'm just like, wait a minute. I felt like this leader's kind of busted. It's just when something's just removed from the board, right? So whether you're bottom decking with an effect, that is, so you're bottom decking or bouncing, you're gonna get a draw. So it's like now you have to reimagine once per turn, by the way. So now you just reimagine all those board removing cards that's available in blue and how extra effective they are by allowing you to draw. And her threshold is 5 or less. That's a wonderful threshold to have, because 6 cards is a lot of cards to have in your hand. So you can always just keep playing cards, countering out, That's crazy. You know, I did that in one of my test plays. I bottom decked a searcher just so I can draw it. I'm like, I'm not using this, so let me just. Wait a minute. Why didn't we? Wait, we could have bottom decked their Bonnie. Am I missing something? Wasn't that Bonnie on the board? Anyway. Bouncing back Cavendish is a little risky, so I guess the one that eats up the most Don is TCG without being as effective. That's if we play. That's if we're gonna play Kiros. Well, in my opinion, if we're gonna play Boa, Cavendish, and oh god, what am I confused at? Can't we bottom deck the Bonnie, or am I missing something? Maybe I'm missing something. I know sometimes it might sound crazy, but sometimes searchers are left on the board to get the opponent to just use a Dawn. It's interesting. I've seen it work before. As ludicrous as that sounds, I actually seen it work before, so. This is the tough part. Wait, shouldn't we? Oh, it doesn't matter, right? Because they're definitely going to rest one of the Boas no matter what. Oh, no, they don't got no active Dawn. I wonder what type of play we can do. We got 3 life. And if we wanted to hinder their board development, technically, we could just play our Law, bounce Law back, have a Law in play, and bounce something. Keep a bunch of counter power in hand. Oh, we will go with the Kiros. Ooh, she stopped it. We got so much counter power. Wow, this is going to be kind of funny. Yep. This is like all rage bait. What's next? I think that's done. That's kind of hilarious. Yeah, swung with the bare minimum so many times. Oh, and they whiffed? What? That's low-key toxic. And these games are kind of interesting because it's like, if you notice, we still got 3 life cards up. So it's like, yeah, we have a full board, a depleted hand, pretty much because they never needed to, well, not never needed, but they didn't need to attack our life. So it's pretty interesting. Are they just gonna... Huh. It looks like they're just going to sit there. Alright. This is when I'm gonna incorporate the magic of video editing. So it looks like they decided to AFK and I guess see if we quit. It's interesting what people are willing to do to feel like they won. Because this is not even like that type of game. You get what I'm saying? But I've seen it when the game first, like when the app first dropped. Yeah, people would just AFK and let you quit, and that would make them feel better. So I haven't seen this in a long time. Pretty interesting. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that the segment was low-key triggering, but if he had just like swung really big, he could have just cleared our board. Like, you had a bunch of Dawn cards. Cavendish could have attacked our Law just to simply restand your Dawn. You get what I'm saying? They low-key had so many options. Well, that was a tough bottom decking sequence. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate that. I hate seeing that, but what are you gonna do? Literally, our late game all bottom decked at this point. So now we gotta get lucky. Well, that's a good card to draw. They're definitely gonna counter out. Because you're purple Luffy. You're supposed to counter out. You're gonna draw the card in order to use your for that leader ability. You rather the leader ability, not to take damage, and he took damage. That is kind of crazy. We don't really need the searcher. I'm sure we're about to draw a card. I think. So essentially, like, we draw for turn. We'll probably play Law, bounce, draw another card, then draw for next turn. That's 3 cards in already. You know what I'm saying? So you probably could have like put the searcher at the bottom. That put-in is gonna look crazy. I mean, we could take. We don't have to protect this. Okay, we protected. 9 cards. Yeah, you're better off just playing to put in now. Like, attacking for 6 is not going to, unless they're throwing the game. Yo, just play to put it. 2K counter, yeah, there it goes. See, I would have, oh. Yeah, see, I don't, it is what it is. So, I was thinking, oh, are we gonna bounce a card and then, end our turn? But that's not what happened. Yeah, that's the devastating part about putting, because it lowers your hand size, so now it's harder to defend from swings. So maybe that's why we didn't play putting earlier, so that way we can just play and then go for a nice Dawn stack and swing. You see now, yeah, that's like the actual power of putting. Yes, you want to use it to trim their hand, like I get that, but if you can swing right behind it in a particular game state like this, you see the Luffy only has 2 life, you played it, you swung, yeah, yeah, they're they're gonna lose their whole hand trying to survive. But anyway, I feel like I didn't even describe this bullet deck. Forgive me, everybody. But I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's just really trying to use bounce cards. That's about it. And in my experience, I was just like, I really feel like this leader is slept on like crazy. Just you get so much extra value out of just normal gameplay. You want to use a Brick Fist for 2 Dawn, you get to draw a card as well. You want to use a Law Leader, not Law Leader ability. You want to use the Law Character ability. You want to use 6-drop Boa and bottom deck, their 1-drop. You want a Red Rock, especially Red Rock. You want a Gravity Tiger. You want to, So I'm really surprised the meta isn't using her. But, I can imagine. Well, we're now rotating leaders. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of leaders are getting rotated out. But I would say if we reach a level in the One Piece meta where blue has like damn near nothing but bottom deck cards instead of bounce cards, then yeah, she would probably be one of the top tier leaders. It's just like you're bottom decking everything, and one can argue that bottom decking is just more effective than bouncing. Oh, we stopped the Sanji. I'm guessing so that way they don't draw. We have a lot of life cards, to be honest. We can afford to take some damage. It'll be interesting going out our way to try to protect that. I kind of don't think we should. I feel like we should just let the rest of the attacks, okay? Start going for lead. That's definitely perfect value love beam right there. But the reason why I was imagining, allowing attacks, oh wow, that's funny, on lead is because I figured it might encourage like a bigger Dawn stack type of situation, so it really eats up their turn. But this is definitely effective too, as you can see. Now this is a weird game state situation where it's like you might want to be super effective by constantly trying to attack, and then you put yourself in a weird position where your opponent always has a character to counterattack with, instead of attacking life and giving you cards in hand, resources, they can always attack your character, and once you're fully starved, they can turn the game around. I mean, luckily for us, our leader draws cards. Like, that's where a lot of the value is coming from, is the fact that this leader is drawing cards. That would be hilarious if he was to try to save that, I ain't gonna lie. 1K. They see the ooh. Yep, definitely. Take. Yes, okay, cool. So we can finally just get some cards in hand. Either we go for game, or I would say bounce Sanji. Like, ideally, you could technically bounce Sanji and play a blocker. Well, you probably want to play the blocker first and then bounce Sanji so you can see what you're going to draw into. We got so many life cards. Okay. and then go for like a complete all-in. Why does that still feel risky? Because if they could be bluffing a Gum Gum Giant, but if they're not. What's next? What's next? Just counting the cards, doing some math. Yeah, we don't got an event in our hand, so might as well, right? Oh, a G. Thanks for watching. Man, that kind of sucks.